Nigger. A book written by Dick Gregory about the civil rights movement. Now, what does this book have to do with schools or universities? Well, in Seattle University, Dean Kelly, I believe her name was? Dean Kelly was told by, social justice warrior students, you know how universities follow them now, was told that the curriculum and the school is just too white. There's no diversity. Everyone's always white history, white this, white that, white. And the dean agreed. She's like, you know what? Maybe you're right. So what did she do? She introduced the students to the book Nigger, about this civil rights movement, about racism towards blacks in America's history. And because she said the word nigger, which was the book title, it's not like she was calling someone one, or saying it out of context, in a negative context. She was saying it in the context of the book. Even though they wanted diversity, so she shows this book, and she says the word, what happens to her? By the way, this is a few months ago, but what do you think happened to her? She was fired for bringing a book written by a black dude that he named about racism towards black people. Is this the kind of safe space you fucking want? Oh, should she have said the book, like, put paper stickers on it, says the N-word on it, it's called the N-word. Or black people. Just call it black people. The book is just called Black People. So, a few days before the dean's removal, Gregory himself wrote in an essay for Inside Higher Ed. I put the article down there. You can check it out. And he wrote, I am not offended by Dean Kelly's use of the word nigger. In fact, I am pleased that she has the foresight to want to give these young men and women the knowledge, insight, and experience of a civil rights activist that might just help them understand life a little better. I am disappointed that they seem to have stopped at the title instead of opening the book and reading its contents. And that's the author of the book who's black. He was not offended. You shouldn't be offended. Oh my God. It's like these students, right? Remember when you were younger, or maybe you are young right now, you had this ideal of what the world should be. You know, like back when I was in school, you're thinking, this should be like this, it should be like this, it should be like this. But you would have to play by the rules and mature and learn about different things that you don't agree with. This is how fucking life works, people. Things don't always go your way. Things aren't going to be how you think they're going to be. You sort of get everything in you. So when you're an adult, you can make an informed decision using different points of information. But now, this ideal world that we have in our heads when we're kids is now becoming mainstream. The universities who should be telling these students to shut the fuck up. Shut your fucking mouth and abide by our rules. You're in our university. Are now like, okay. It's more like now a business model. School's not about education anymore. It's how do we get more students in the school, but not offending a bunch of other students. But ironically, this is working against them as universities and colleges and any post-secondaries are seemingly turning into a fucking joke. It's laughable. The real world doesn't work. When there's a book called Nigger and someone says it in the real world, you know what consequence there is? Nothing. There is absolutely no consequence, especially when the book is not about being racist towards blacks, but about racism towards blacks and how the history affected them. And it's obviously an awful period in America's history, and any part of history of just racism like that and slavery. But we have to be aware of it. You cannot erase history, and nor can you censor the word nigger when it's used in a book title. This is like if I made a book about cocks, about dicks. It was coming to this. And then I called the book Dick or Cock or something, and they're that's offensive, but it's about dicks. What do you want from me? Chapter 7's about coming and bukkake. It's fantastic. Check it out. Open the book before you judge. This metaphor probably does not suit very well for the original meaning, but I had to throw in a dick joke. There is also a book by Talib Starks, and I heard him being interviewed by a few people where he made a book recently called Blacks versus Niggers, which is talking about the glorification of jail, of gangster violence, of the negative part of communities that is the minority, that is the small percentage of the black community. Obviously, most black people aren't criminals, but there is a high percentage of criminals, and he's trying to find the problem. And it's a fantastic book. I haven't read the whole thing, but I have read a lot of chapters of it, as well as heard many of his interviews talking about the book. And he is also black. Should we not be talking about that book because there's the N-word in it, the infamous N-word? No, especially if it's written by a black dude who, and okay, why is the word getting people fired when it's used in the context of education? If she dropped it to some student, okay, fucking bye, no excuses, and don't give me these fucking people commenting, but why people should be able to say nigger? Yeah, no. Not in school. No, you shouldn't be calling people niggers. And if you are, that's incredibly racist. But Andy, it's a meme. I don't give a fuck. You're still offending people. But when you're saying the word like I am, or like most people say it, when you're saying a book title or just the word in general, it's completely fine. It's all contextual. I truly believe that racism is a disgusting, toxic thing, but like I've said before, it's been overused. The word racist means fucking nothing anymore. The regressives have ruined the word, and just saying a book title doesn't make you racist. Again, she would have to be dropping it, like saying it to students or looking down upon black people. That would be a completely different story. So can we have some fucking context when we're talking about our words? You fucking crackers. Ugh.